What's going on, guys? Welcome into episode number 11 of the Male Mind Podcast. Thank you guys so much for
Ooh.
being here. We don't have a guest today. We're flying solo.
Flying solo like Jason Derulo.
We're flying solo, guys. Hope you're having a tremendous day wherever you're listening to this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at the gym, driving, doesn't matter.
Yep.
Thank you for being here. Today, I want to talk about social media. And I think that it's a
But in a
topic
deeper
in
level.
a deeper level. Yes, we're going to go deep.
Also, P.S. Check out the kicks of the day because Tony's
Picks of
asking
the
me
day.
heat today.
We got it. But I want to talk about social media. I've been having a lot of conversations with
Yes.
realtors. I train agents all the time.
Right.
Uh,
And
and
I train a lot of people, personal trainers that
uh
want to be better,
build their
build their
brand or
brand,
talk
build
about
their
social media.
clientele. Mm-hmm.
But it's so interesting. And I really want to break down and ask some interesting questions for all of you in the audience. Hopefully, as you go through this, you can ask these questions to yourself and try to
And,
find
and,
some
and realize
answers.
it and process it.
Yes, because social media causes a lot of issues. And I want to talk about
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Right. And go
And I
ahead.
think that issues can be in different ways, like relationships, business, with friends, how people look at you, insecurities, and all that stuff, which we'll talk about. But you guys got to realize, like, it's true. Social media can cause a lot of destruction in various ways in our lives.
It can, from an internal perspective, an external
From
perspective. So I want to kick off with my experience of training agents. So when I train agents, a big recommendation is you got to post on social media. Like it's a
yeah,
marketing tool, it's a
mm-hmm.
business tool. But some of the things that I get back are some common insecurities that I want to
uh,
break down with your help.
yeah,
Number one, the insecurity that either I'm fat or I don't like how I look or I don't like my
mm,
voice. That can be one.
gotcha,
Another one is I'm afraid to say something stupid. I'm
gotcha,
afraid to get something wrong, or maybe if I say a stat that's not correct, and then I'm going
mm,
to lose all this credibility. And the third one is I'm afraid to get hate, to get bullied on social media, to get hated, to get negative comments. People are going to say that I suck. So
right,
let's start
huh,
with the first one, with the whole I'm afraid that people aren't going to like me, that they're going to think I'm ugly. What would you say to that? And especially, I want to get your take because you're in the fitness industry where it's all about
yeah,
how you look. And these competitors are literally standing on stage naked, being judged
yeah.
on how they look. So, how do you navigate that when people have these insecurities about their appearance?
From my perspective, I never really cared, which is it's a double-edged sword because you kind of have to care as a trainer how I look and it's my physique, right? But I have never cared when I'm speaking on a video. Like I'm gonna be myself, and I'm gonna be outspoken and loud and just me being me. And I think people are too afraid to be themselves because they want to portray something different on social media, in a video or a reel or a story, instead of actually just letting themselves be themselves, which it actually attracts more people and more views because people are seeing your genuine self. Now, on the image factor of it, who cares? There's so many people on social media right now that are hefty or bigger, and they're killing it because they're confident in what they're selling, in what value they're bringing to people. That's where that correlation needs to meet. You have to be able to be confident enough to know that you're adding value to someone.
Yeah, and one of the things that I train TEDx speakers about is that it's all about your message.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At the end of the day, and I get it. I've had those insecurities. You've had those
Yeah.
insecurities at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and you try to work on those. Like if you feel that you're a little bit overweight, you work on that and you work
Yeah.
on that. But if you can focus on what is the message, if
Right.
I'm trying to educate people on the real estate market, or if I'm trying to, we're trying to improve men's mental health,
Right.
you focus on the message,
Mm-hmm.
and that has to be the entire
Yeah,
focus.
you gotta stay in the message realm. 'Cause a lot of people they're good at something and they start like venturing out to different things and not actually talking about the specific thing that you're good at.
Yeah.
Stick with what you're good at. And once it's perfected and it's done and it's beautiful and you're posting and it comes off naturally and you're confident about it, move on to the next message of what you're trying to convey. Now, the one thing that I love that you do is you're very real, you're up front, and you say how it is, and it's good content. And I think a lot of people, and how I started was I was following people that I wanted to like not be like, but have the same intention in social media to provide a service and provide education. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, okay, how do I provide education and knowledge and fun and fitness and bodybuilding and shoes and cast and everybody else involved into me? So I created that little creature, and I've kept that creature rolling and going and going and going for almost a decade now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, because that basically it constructs a well-rounded individual,
Exactly.
right? To where you can showcase all aspects of your life, and it's going to be relatable to some. To some, it's not going to be relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And on one morning, you can talk about have a certain morning message, and
Right.
it didn't speak to me that morning. But then the next morning, I can be like, oh, that was perfect.
Yeah. And honestly, that's what happens a lot of the times. Like yesterday, I posted the maturity one. I got like 20 hearts, a couple comments, but on Saturday morning when I put something, I didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Which to me, it doesn't. We just talked about it. It doesn't phase me.
Did it used to though?
It did because I was like, man, like I'm working really hard to like get a message out, like portray motivation.
Why isn't anybody saying anything?
Right. But now it, and I know this because, for a fact, because I have 1,000, 2,000 views on a story. I know for a fact that one person took that message to heart, and they don't have to actually tell me. But I'm also older. I've matured enough that that doesn't affect me anymore, and it shouldn't.
Sure.
You
And
know?
that's kind of what Ray was talking to with. There's a lot of lurkers on social media.
Yeah.
If you say that on a story, you get 1,500 views of the story,
Mm-hmm.
how many reactions did you get? Very few.
Mm-hmm.
So 90+% of the people that are watching your stories are not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to heart it. They're not going to repost it. They're not going to send a comment. So when you understand that, I think it can relieve a little bit of that pressure,
Yeah.
right? So if we talk about point number one of if your physical appearance, you're not really feeling it, I get it. Try to work on that
Yeah.
as best as you can.
But also don't let it linger so much. Like people are gonna love you for you if you're skinny or if you're bigger. It doesn't matter. What matters is here and then here.
Yeah, and
And
it's
the
just having
message.
the proper context. So
Mhm.
what is the objective?
Mhm.
Is the objective to get chicks to think you're attractive?
Mm-hmm.
Or is the objective to provide a
sales.
message
Yeah.
or to say something or to get leads? What is the objective? Because sometimes we act like the objective of social media is to just get a bunch of girlfriends, right?
Right.
And so we're insecure about our appearance, and so we're like, I don't want to do it. That's not why you're there.
Right.
At least in a professional perspective, I speak
Yeah.
for me, right? I'm there to
Provide.
provide content and educate people and try to grow my business. So when you keep it with that focus, it changes everything
It
now.
does.
Because now, even if you don't like your appearance that much, you can work on that. But that's not why you're there. You're
Yeah.
not there to show off your appearance. You're there to show off your message or your business or what
Yeah.
you have in here that can help somebody else.
It's true because in 2014 I was bodybuilding. I was getting lean. I did my first show. Whatever. My intent was to, oh, cool. I might find a lot of girls that find me attractive with my new body. Fast forward 10 years later, my intent is 99.8% different.
Yeah.
Because my intention, my message has changed, right? And over time, I realized in my growth that now I use social media for business and the shoe business and, training, the TEDx stuff that we did. All of that conveys into one big message of who I am. But it took me, again, almost a decade to find the perfect way for me to provide my services and who I am through all that growth. Because yes, when I was younger and I wasn't married and I wasn't with Cass, we were dating forever, it was different. My intent was different, but I didn't have the business, right? I was just barely starting out in bodybuilding. So yeah, I wanted to utilize to meet people and connect to different people. Now the connection center of it is lead, right? Views for our stuff, me providing a good video of content to show off a training or whatever, and my motivational posts really do help a lot of people. So that's the intent. So you guys got to think about, you have to have and ask yourself, what's my intent and what I'm going to provide for other people.
Yeah, why are you there in the first place? Why are you going to post content?
Yep.
What is the objective? When you have the objective clear, then you can measure it in the correct way.
And then scale it. you scale
Yeah,
it.
because otherwise, then yeah, it's really easy to fall into I didn't get the likes or stuff.
Right.
But talking about the likes and the comments and things like that, it's very interesting what the algorithms have done.
Yeah, explaining that to me because you said it was
Yeah,
new.
so the algorithms change, right? Back in the day, it was all about likes when these platforms were really new, and then it was
Mhm.
about comments, and then it was about shares, and so the algorithms change all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But now they've matured to a point where it's about watch time.
Hmm.
And I think that the reason why these platforms do that is because they realize that some of the other vanity metrics can be manipulated based on people's insecurities. I'll give you an example. There are people, and I know this because I've seen it. For example, they'll jump on a live and they'll start an Instagram live. And it'll
Mm.
be a normal live, they'll have 4, 5, 6, 10 people on there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there'll be 3,500 people on the live.
Hmm.
The way they do that is they'll have somebody on the outside that takes the link, posts it in a platform that amplifies it to a bunch of random accounts. And so things like that happen
So it's like a paying
all the
service
time.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's not real viewers, it's just so that you can get the number up there. So the question is why
What?
why do people do that? What's the motivation to pay a service? And I mean, I've done the whole engagement groups. I've
Right,
done
right.
paying like a subscription, like $50 so that I can get a bunch of likes. Like I get there. I've
Yeah.
done it. I know why people do it
Right.
because I felt those insecurities as well of, man, if I don't get a lot of likes, what are people going to say? So I've been there. I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that now these platforms, what they care about is watch time.
Huh.
Because watch time is the one thing that you cannot buy.
Yeah, that's true.
And people have been manipulating the algorithms for so long with these engagement groups or buying likes or fake bot comments. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah.
And so now it's to a situation where we're going to reward the people that actually provide value, regardless
Which is great.
of if they
I
have
think
huge
that's
accounts
great.
or not.
Yeah.
The metric is, do people watch your stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Even if because now that's bringing the lurkers into the equation where they can actually contribute
Right.
to your content being
Yeah.
blasted.
So the haters and the fans actually contributing to
Of
the
course,
watch time.
because back in the day, if it was all about likes and comments,
They weren't gonna like it.
the lurkers wouldn't support you.
Yeah.
The lurkers, they would watch it, they wouldn't like, they wouldn't comment, and they would keep going.
Right.
Now they're monitoring the watch time. So now it's about the value that you're providing. And to me, that is a huge
It's a huge
breath
step.
of fresh air
Mhm.
because you can realize that nobody cares how many likes you get.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't matter.
And it shouldn't matter to you anyways because if you're coming from a good place of posting a quote, posting a cool picture that you took, whatever, that's for you. And it should be only for you. You guys shouldn't seek validation from the outside sources to make yourself feel good.
Of course.
You know?
And now these changes make it so that it's not about all of those numbers.
Right. And I like
Now-
that. I like that a lot because now you can create an a message or a video or a cool little reel. You can add a lot more value, and those views, watch time stacks up, and you get rewarded because you get put at the top, explore. Right? I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, just think about the freedom that gives you.
Yeah.
I often talk about the freedom of understanding that nobody cares.
And you guys,
And in a lot of cases, people can take that as a negative to be like, oh, well, it sucks that nobody cares. What I mean by nobody cares is that judgment that you're afraid of,
it's not even there.
that wave of hate that you think is going to come at you, it's basically not real.
That's wild. And that's the biggest thing is like and I used to think this too, like, oh man, if this is not a cool video, I should delete it because if I don't get enough likes or if I don't get enough comments or like enough viewers, like that's gonna suck. And again, this was years ago when we didn't have the reels. I was very like adamant to do certain things. But honestly, it got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be Lou. I'm gonna be Gucci. I'm gonna be Lou. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and honestly, no fucks given. And that's actually been a lot better since I changed my train of thought.
Yeah.
But it's all about also the growth and how you view yourself. I don't need likes or views to validate how good I know I am.
And the interesting thing with that is when you get to a point where you understand that this is a marketing tool, that
it
it's
really
a
is.
business tool. So now we're talking to all of the entrepreneurs out there. whatever business you're in, myself in real estate, I got to a point where I realized that a bunch of views in some random country didn't do anything for me.
Right.
What I need is hyper local, hyper targeted people within my community
Right.
that can watch my stuff and get value, even if it's just 50.
Mm-hmm.
That to me has so much more value than getting 200,000 views
In
from
South
random
America.
countries
Yeah.
that's not going to do anything for me. And the problem is that there are a lot of people that have fallen into that to try to get the hundreds of thousands of views,
Mm-hmm.
and they get them. They have large audiences, but they do no business
Sure.
because the people here locally,
They're
they
not
don't
gonna
see
buy
it.
Yeah.
Everybody that sees it is just in random places
Yeah.
because we're either buying into trends or we're using some of these tools, these
Right.
platforms, the amplification services. And so again, it goes back to what is your objective? If
Mhm.
your objective is to grow your business, you want to get your stuff in front of the eyes of
Mhm.
potential consumers.
Yeah.
In my case, buyers or sellers in these 3 counties, Utah County, Salt
Right.
Lake County, Davis County. That's all the people I care about. It doesn't serve me if people somewhere else watch my stuff.
Right.
So I much rather have 200, 300 really local hyper targeted views that can generate business
Right.
versus thousands somewhere
That
else.
makes sense.
And the context also of how many people are 300 people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
And I don't think you guys realize, like, yeah, there's a lot of people who have 1 million followers and they're getting 50,000 or 60,000 shares and all that, which is a lot. But that you guys got to think about that percentage ways. We just talked about 5 to 10% of 1 million people. That's a lot, right? And for me, like, I get 1,000, 1,500 views on my story and likes, and like, but the thing is, some reels hit, some reels don't.
Some reels don't.
Right? So it's like, either way, I get 2,100, or I posted one 2 weeks ago, and it got like 25K within 24 hours, right? And that doesn't phase me. That's the problem, because out of that 25K or that 2,100, I'm probably gonna get a DM. I'm probably gonna get one person that says thank you, or hey, I love this, or hey, this is great. One person.
That's all.
If I can change or makes one person feel good, that's all that matters.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I think that what I want to get to is help everybody that is listening to this get to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we unpack some of these insecurities? You know, we talked about the physical side.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the reality of hate on the internet at a level where you're just a beginner creator. You don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. You're just starting out your page. You have 1,800 followers, but you're scared that you're going to get this wave of hate every time you post.
I think the waves will come, this is me obviously from personal experience, the waves come after you've made it. I think in the beginning, you're not going to get as much hate or pullback in a way. I think it's when you are doing something good and one of your viewers has the exact same idea or wants to do the exact same thing and you're ahead of them, so they feel less and they're envious. That's one of the things that I've seen.
Do you feel that those backlashes happen publicly on social? Like, they will go into your feed and leave nasty comments?
Some do, but most of the time it's behind the scenes.
It's so rare.
It's super weird.
Like, that's the point. It's so rare.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it happens, if somebody jumps on your live and says, "Oh, you're fat, you suck." Think about it this way. What would you do if that person said it to your face? What would be your reaction?
Mm.
Would it just make you super sad and would you start to cry? Would you get angry? Would you defend yourself? What
Right.
would you do?
But that's the problem. They wouldn't say it.
They probably wouldn't say it to your face,
To
right?
your face, because a lot of people create this, let's be real, they create this facade of I am behind a screen so I can say whatever I want because that person can't touch me. The whole goal is to make that person feel a certain way, not realizing that people's perception of you is how they feel about themselves.
Sure.
Right?
And taking back control of
Yes.
you control who sees your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody leaves a nasty message, just block them, bro.
Mm-hmm. Just delete it.
Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Just get rid of them. Like, you decide who comes into your ecosystem. Even with something as abstract as social media,
Yeah.
if someone's leaving nasty comments, get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a healthy
Yeah.
practice. You
And
get to choose
mm-hmm,
who gets to interact with you, who gets to get close.
mm-hmm,
When I say close, is comment on your stuff.
yeah,
If you're just going to be here hating, I'm just going to get rid of you
yeah.
and
And
I'm going
there's
to move
nothing
on.
wrong with that. You should be able to protect your own energy, protect your page, right? Protect your own self worth. I feel like too. And I've blocked a lot of different people, and they were mostly like nasty, like sexual guys. You know, very vindictive. Like I've had a lot of hate messages. I've had a lot of like threats. Like one time I got like, I'm gonna burn your gym down. Like it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I just look at it, I process it, and I delete it because I'm not going to fall into a trap because their goal is to make me angry and for me to react.
Mhm.
In 2014, different
You
Lou,
would
I would
have.
have fucking
Yeah.
lost my shit. Let's fight. Let's whatever.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, I'm almost 34. It's like why?
Yeah.
And that goes back to my comment or my picture yesterday that I posted is maturity is when you look at something, you smile, and let it go, because it doesn't do you any good to respond. And it comes time to time where people will comment and say something that you can respond to, and we've seen it, and you've seen it in my stuff or in our stuff. We just comment back, keep it nice,
And you
and you
continue to
continue.
move forward.
You continue your life, and that's the thing, you guys. You should never be afraid to show something, to take a picture of something. Just do it. It's not about you. It's about other people being envious or having some type of hate for themselves because of what you're posting. I've been in a lot of rooms and a lot of conversations where people are talking about another person's Instagram or story, or they're traveling, and I sit there because as I'm older, I'm more of a watcher and a listener, right? And I listen and I see, and they're just talking crap because, oh, they're not really happy, or they're just traveling to show off,
Mm.
and it's not even that. And to me, that just is jealousy and envious because that person's feeling a certain way that they're not traveling to Greece or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
And we're so quick to
And what
judge.
exactly?
So quick to judge. And the point with this, guys, is just hopefully you can be a little bit less afraid of
Mm-hmm.
social media. It can cause less anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
less stress. You can be free to post, to share,
Yeah.
to whatever it is that you're into,
Yeah.
share it. And realizing that your message or the way you speak or the way you dress or the way whatever, it's not going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't need to be everything for everybody.
I love that.
But if you love, Ray loves anime. If you love anime and you're excited about the new season of whatever,
Post it.
post it.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some people that are going to be like, "That's awesome! I watched that. I love that." You can have a conversation with them, and some people are going to be like, "Ray, anime is just adult cartoons, and they're kind of stupid."
Right.
You know what I mean? But everybody's going to have a different opinion, and that's fine.
And that's
She
fine.
loves anime, so if you don't, that's fine. But
Yeah.
everybody else that does, and you can have those conversations. That's why I love Twitter, because I'll go on Twitter and talk about things that I love. I love boxing. I love the NBA. So I'm there having
Right.
conversations with people that care about that.
Yeah.
I don't need to be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
And too often we're trying to be vanilla, trying to be this neutral to where everybody loves us and we don't
No.
rub anybody the wrong way.
You
As
guys-
long as you have a good intention,
That's so true.
and your
I love that you
intention-
say that.
because at the end of the day, we're trying to fit into this box that we don't ever want to make anybody upset or
Yeah.
feel some type of way. But if your intention is pure, if you want to provide value, or you're not even trying to provide value, you want to talk about something that you're passionate about, that
Do
you
it.
that you love, do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the likes or the comments. We need to see social media with more freedom
Yes.
of this is how I can connect with people that believe what I believe, that love what I love, make relationships, make friends without this fear of this wave of hate that
Yeah.
in most cases is not even real.
That's the thing is, a lot of you guys need to change your train of thought. And I love you said that because we're in America, where it's a free country, right? As they say, that's true. You guys, like, be free. Like, I am so free. I talk about whatever comes to my mind. Usually, I post my morning motivation. My next story is me talking about the motivational post I just posted that relates to whatever I'm talking about, and then I go to my shoes, then I go to my outfit. People love that. They really do, because I get people asking me for like style tips.
Yeah,
Hey, like da da da, my socks, whatever.
because you're passionate about that,
Exactly.
and so
I love talking about my motivation, what I want to talk about. This is how I see it, my view. People might not agree with it, and they don't. Most people do, right? It's just my audience. Because I've gotten rid of a lot of people. I used to have like
exactly.
34K. Over time, now I have like what, 27 or something like that. I don't really care. But I seen that changes in my people that don't like me.
It's
Do I
fine
care?
if
I
they
don't give a
don't.
fuck.
Right,
But I
because
have the niche of people, that group
yes,
community that I've created in my social media that have stayed and are continuously, applauding me, you know, and those are the ones that I want to have, and those are the ones that I want to have connections with. In reality, you gotta take it from I want to be me, and this is me. Take it or leave it, because some people might love you
yeah,
for you doing you, and some people may not, and that's fine. I'd rather have 10K awesome followers and 60K shitty followers that don't really interact with me, that don't engage with me, right? But either way, I'm still gonna do me and be me and provide what I know I can provide. That's good,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so I hope that through going through these processes and kind of seeing things differently, we can
Mm-hmm.
view social media in a different light. If you're a professional that is trying to push a brand or push a business
Yes.
or a product, then you have to do social media. In my opinion, you have to do
Yeah,
it. At
you
this
do.
point in time, you have to do it. But it's just about finding your target audience. And
Mm-hmm.
business people know this. We talk about segmentation and targeting and who is
Age
your
groups and
all of this.
mhm.
It's the same thing on social media. It's not everything for everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just let go of that fear a little bit. And if you're not a business person and you're just an individual that likes doing dances on TikTok, just like you said, be free, have fun. Somebody talks crap, block them, get rid of them,
Yeah.
and keep moving forward.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't reflect, it shouldn't reflect, or we shouldn't allow it to reflect on our self esteem, the way we feel about ourselves. And I know that it does, which is why I wanted to bring this up and
Yeah.
talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people suffer based
Mm-hmm.
on social media.
And there was a quote. Jay Shetty said this. It's not exactly how he said it, but there's more pain now in our generation through social media in one day than there ever was in a whole year in the 60s and 70s. That's how critical people view social media. A picture, this bikini picture, this arm, this flex, whatever. If you don't get what you expect, you're crushed.
Yeah.
And we see a lot more negative results on social media now than ever. Why is that? Because you wake up, right? Oh, Tommy, my best friend, is in Greece right now in Santorini, living the time of his life. Fuck.
It makes you feel some
It
type of way, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you guys watch my stuff, don't look at your phone in the first hour of the day,
The first hour
because it's the worst.
of the
It
day.
brings negative vibes to you,
It
because
can.
now we're recreating and rewiring how our life should be
Yeah.
because of what we're seeing from other people. But guess what? Tommy, that is in Greece, it might have taken him 3 years to save up for that.
You just don't know.
You just
So
don't
so
know.
you can't judge. You
Exactly.
can't make a judgment based on
Hmm.
that, right? And we're the first generation that had social media.
Yes.
We need to figure this out
Hmm.
and contextualize it properly for the next one.
Yeah.
Like I think about my son
Hmm.
and how he's going to have social media. He already has a little YouTube channel. Like it's
I
ingrained
love
in their
that.
nature. They
Yeah.
want to do that. He's on TikTok now. So if we don't figure this out,
Yeah.
if it's still crushing us, if it's ruining our self-esteem, if we cannot properly put it in its place,
Mm.
we're not going to be able to teach our kids in the next generation to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So same thing's going to happen to them.
Mhm.
Then they're going to feel anxiety. They're going to be scared. It's going to crush their self-esteem and their self-image
Hmm.
because we allow it to happen to us.
Yeah. And I think it also comes from the correct parenting on viewing and how is this going to help you. Now, for me, and we already talked about it, once our kids get cell phones, maybe 15, 16, you know what's right and wrong at that age, right? And it sucks because I see like 9-year-old kids with cell phones and they have Instagrams and like doing stuff like whatever. Like, that's just my opinion. They're way too young. I think for us to teach these things, people and kids need to understand right and wrong, what's good and what's bad.
Yeah.
And that's through parenting also, right? So I had a old friend that she was very scandalous on social media, right? She was very open. She was a competitor, right? Everything was out, booty. So her workouts, very, less clothing. So her daughter thought that she could do the exact same thing being 11, 12 years old because she saw her mom do that. Right? So she actually got stuff happen in school. She got a lot of stuff, started dating all these kids. She was sexualized, of the word,
It can be a problem. Yes.
early, and I
100%.
remember the conversation, and she was like, she felt like it was her fault because she was being way too open, and she thought that she was giving and providing fitness and health, but she wasn't realizing what she was doing
Who was
for the
watching?
who was
Yeah.
watching, right? At the end of the day, you guys need to understand, like, and going back to what Tony said, social media is such a great business tool. You guys, for you teenagers from really 19 to 30 right now, you can make so much money on social media now.
If you play the game
If you
right.
play the game correct, if you know how to do it, if you provide value, provide good content. I If I had a pencil company right now, cool ass freaking looking pencil, I would sell the shit out of it.
Mhm.
I know myself, I know my worth, I know I'm confident in my pencil, and I'm gonna post about it and create content through that pencil company
Yeah.
and still provide the exact same value, but it's how you see it. And it's how you know yourself. You have to kind of believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where a lot of people don't realize that you guys have it so much easier. My first actual job, I was at T-Mobile 2009. If I had social media in 2009, I'd be racking.
And that's the interesting thing with this next generation.
Exactly.
They have it. My 6-year-old
It's
has it.
so easy. There's kids making
Millions of dollars.
opening toys. I heard about this. You told me this. I was like, wait, I open toys and make money from it? Like,
It's,
that's wild.
yeah.
And that's the power of the creating age. We're in the
Yeah.
creating age,
Yeah.
right? All these cool videos. Like, my videographer's awesome. Tells me when he's done with the videos, I'm like, holy crap, that's so cool. I don't have that mentality to create.
Yeah.
You guys, you younger generation now till 30, your imagery of creativity is insane.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I look at it, I'm like, man, like, I would be racking if I was a videographer or a photographer.
Yeah.
Or honestly, like, there's so many ways to monetize now.
But that's why I feel so strongly that we need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because if it continues to be such a negative, if we can't turn it into a real positive,
Yeah.
then again, our kids, nieces, nephews, everybody around us, that younger generation
Yeah.
is going to view it in the exact same way. So we need to get to a point where we can see social media for what it is, make it a positive in our lives, not a negative, have it be something healthy that can provide us value, content, motivation, inspiration, education, whatever you want,
Yeah.
and start to get rid of some of those negatives so that our kids don't feel the exact same way, because they're going to grow up with
Yeah,
this, right?
that's true.
So just in closing, guys, leave in the comments what scares you about social media. What are some of your fears? What have you tried? What are your experiences? If you are in this constant loop of, I want to post. This happens to ages all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to post. I know I should post. I know my business would be bigger if I posted, if I figured this out.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why.
Yeah. And on my end, I tell all of my employees, post you training a client. Post my people if you need to. You have to be able to post what you're doing, because one person out of your 100 people will remember that. Oh, Johnny's now training. Sees it again the week after. Sees it again the week after. Out of every video that you post, someone's going to bite. Someone of your viewers and watchers is looking for a personal trainer. I tell everybody, like, don't do it like me. Do your own thing, but
Your
you
way.
have to talk. You have to provide. Talk about nutrition. Talk about training. Post the gym. Post you working out. There's so many ways. And what's crazy is that Cass is like the best, obviously, trainer, but she doesn't use social media a lot. People use, I guess it's word of mouth. They come in and then they're sold. Cass doesn't use computer, doesn't use a number. She just talks to people, gets them in. Well, I'm using my PowerPoint. I'm kind of bougie. A PowerPoint. I'm doing like all this and this. Like I'm okay. Your body fat and loss, all that stuff, and it's easy. But that's how I like it, and that's how I like to do things.
Sure.
But a lot of the times, you guys that are wanting to make more money or create more value, you just have to start. I agree. You just have to talk. You have to believe in yourself and believe that other people are going to be attracted to what you have to offer. It's literally a mindset. Because if you're already thinking about it like, oh, fuck, no one's going to watch it. Oh, fuck, I look stupid. You're most likely going to look stupid.
Yep. So hopefully this episode can help work through that a little bit. We could be here all day with examples and stuff, but that's kind of the idea, to at least get you to start thinking about, man, I got to figure this out. I got to get over these insecurities. I have to sort this out so that then social media can be what I need it to be, or what I want it to be in my life. So with that being said, guys, shoot us your DMs, subscribe, comment, share. You guys know all that fun stuff. We got a great guest coming up next week, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And with that being said, episode 11. See you guys later.
Thank you, guys.